Good evening and welcome to Arlington High School for this girls varsity basketball game between Winchester High School and your Arlington Spy Ponders. My name is Lewis McCulloch alongside Jeff Spector with Phil Ryan on the camera and Jack Magoon on production. We'd like to thank ACMi Sports for the use of the equipment to bring today's game to you live. We're anticipating another tough game tonight, Jeff, in this rematch versus Winchester. Arlington faced off against Winchester in the second game of the season way back in mid-December, losing on the road by a final score of 49-31. Winchester now stands at 9 wins with 6 losses and are currently ranked 13th in MIAA Division I. Winchester is led by senior Emily Collins, a member of last year's Massachusetts All-Scholastic team and Middlesex League co-MVP. As a junior, she averaged 19 points and 13 rebounds per game. The Spy Ponders come in with a record of 1 win and 11 losses. They are coming off one of their best performances of the season and are looking to translate that momentum into results to close out the season over the next few weeks. Jeff, good evening. What are you looking for as the game is about to tip off here?
Two things. Where's the girls' heads at? Are they playing relaxed? Do they come out ready to go and then just not playing tight? And then secondly, anything worth having, you usually have to take. It's not given. And so I want to see the girls come out, play aggressive, take it to the hoop, draw some early fouls, and play some hard, aggressive defense.
So we got an early turnover on Arlington as I believe McCulloch stepped out of bounds. Let's just set the lineups for you quickly. We've got senior captain Lily Paul, junior Alina McCulloch, and Weezy Mueller, alongside sophomores Avery Spector and Melina O'Hagan for the Spy Ponders. Looks like Lily is going to be guarding Emily Collins to start the game. And a near steal by Spector there. Ball's inbound to Collins, who drives into traffic. That's just a lot of size in there for Winchester. Offensive rebound and putback.
That size is going to be really tough to combat.
And as we've seen before with Winchester, they are pressing. Arlington able to get the ball over half court and hopefully settle into the offense here. Ball lofted in and makes its way through to Paul. Mueller on the drive, puts up a floater, and Maeve Collins rebounds for Winchester. Arlington looks to be in an aggressive man defense right now, as everybody is playing right up on their player. Shot no good, but Emily Collins with the rebound and putback for the early 4-0 lead for Winchester. Yeah, Jeff, already you can see that height's going to be a little bit of a problem.
Absolutely. Absolutely is. There's not a lot you can do about it. I mean, Lily's going to do a phenomenal job on number 33 for Winchester. She's going to harass her on the outside, but as soon as that gets down low, the help's going to slide over, and then, as we saw even against Lexington, missed shots were going to struggle on the rebounds. Again, based on sometimes a lack of size and just based on positioning on the weak side. And again, right there is a perfect example of it. You know, Lily's trying to come around the side of her. She knows if she totally fronts her, they're going to be able to play right over the top. So you kind of have to hedge on the side. She hedges, pass makes its way in, she spins off it, and she finds herself right at the rim.
Emily Collins to the line for 2 shots for Winchester. First one's up and good.
The other problem you have with a team like this, and I think Coach Martinelli knows it, which is probably why they're not really totally going with it, is, you know, sometimes you want to throw a box and one at a team like this, but the way Winchester shoots the ball, you know, they'll take the box and one and they'll live on the outside and make you pay from behind the line.
Second shot for Collins is good. And that's going to be a foul, I believe, on Collins as she gives Paul a bump out of bounds. Arlington basketball on the side. Mueller to bring the ball over for the Ponders. Finds McCulloch at the top of the key, who drives. Puts it up, no good. doesn't get the offensive rebound. It goes out of bounds off of Arlington. That's going to be Winchester ball. And that's number 13, Maggie Shevlin, bringing the ball over for Winchester. Good hustle defense by Paul and Spector. And head coach Sam Mosley is going to call a timeout as the ball was rattling around. Everybody looked a little flustered there. So, yeah, Jeff, I think kind of, what you were saying as we look here under 6 minutes here in the first quarter, Winchester using their size well, kind of controlling the glass at this point, and Arlington with some nice offensive possessions, just not getting the shots up and the results just yet. Yeah,
the perimeter defense has looked good. I think one of the struggles right now, I've seen it at least twice, on the press break, they've actually done a really good job on the defensive half, breaking the press. As soon as we get it over half court, though, we're not making the last pass and the second to last pass to wind up with easy layups. We've either had a turnover or a hesitation, and then, we have sort of run the offense. And it's been a struggle all season. We really need to keep pushing and keep working on trying to translate those potential opportunities into actual layups.
So no changes to either lineup coming out of that timeout. Maeve Collins to inbound the ball for Winchester. One switch I noticed here, we've got McCulloch now guarding Collins, and Paul is on number 4. That's Katie Kavanaugh. Great defensive pressure applied by Arlington. Mueller with the rebound, drives and finishes. Really nice left-handed finish by Mueller there to get the Arlington Spy Ponders on the board. And I like that, Jeff. Grab the rebound and attack. If the defense isn't set up, you've got a great chance to go and get a bucket.
Yeah, I mean, if you can finish going towards the rim, especially Wheezy, you'll take that every single time down the court.
Good pressure being applied by O'Hagan and Paul teaming up there at the top of the key for Arlington. And forcing a turnover by Winchester. Defensive intensity looks locked in. Martinelli's going to like that.
Yeah, the perimeter defense to start this game from both Lily and Avery has been really strong.
Collins is going to come up for the steal drive. She's going to be fouled. She's going to go back to the line for 2. Smart player, just playing with her head up. Saw kind of a long pass and was able to anticipate it and jump it. First shot for Collins is up and good. Got our first subs in for Winchester as Coach Mosley makes a couple of switches. Second shot for Collins is down. Mueller into Paul, and Collins is just playing free safety out there right now. McCulloch over to Spector, finds O'Hagan. Can't quite gather. That's going to be a turnover. You like the thought there. That was a good design to break the press and get the ball into O'Hagan down low.
Yep. Just got to catch the ball and then be able to go up with it there. It looked like a pretty reasonable entry pass.
Great defensive pressure being applied by Paul. That's just going to be a nice entry pass by Winchester. Another taller player down low. It's going to be hard for us to handle height-wise, and she's going to get fouled.
Yeah, Melina was doing a really nice job fronting her there, trying to prevent that pass from coming in.
We've got Catherine Ryan going to the free throw line for 2, sophomore forward. First one's no good. And you could see there, Jeff, head coach Martinelli called McCulloch over, I think probably to talk a little bit about how we're going to try to defend down low, whether we're going to front that or we're going to, front and back, give some space. It's going to be another turnover on the Spy Ponders, and Martinelli's going to be looking to kind of settle them down on offense as we are just not getting the shots up at this point.
Yeah, that one, the pass was, I would deem that one, the pass was just being uncatchable. She fired that pass in.
It's going to be a travel on Winchester. Good defensive pressure being applied by Paul. And we've got our first substitution of the game for Arlington. Eileen Lucas, sophomore Eileen Lucas into the game for Lily Paul. Winchester with a couple of subs as well. Mueller to bring the ball over half court. She's going to take a three. Can't quite hit it. It's an open shot. I like the aggressive. I like the look. Shot off for Winchester. 2 offensive rebounds and a putback. Yeah, Coach Martinelli's going to call timeout. He doesn't like that. A little frustrated with the boxing out and the rebounding. This is not to get ahead of ourselves, Joe. This to me seems like a key point in the game here. Do we calm down? Do we play the way we know that this team can play, like they did against Lexington, like they've done at stretches at other points in the game? I'd like to be optimistic. I'd like to hope that that's what's going to happen. The other way it could go, we've seen also, and that's just kind of a black hole. We want to try to avoid that. So what I like about the timeout right now, everybody seems calm on the bench, kind of locking in. Hopefully they come out refocused and ready to basically start this game over.
Yeah. If they could somehow put the scoreboard out of their minds and just like you said, take a deep breath, reset, and almost pretend like this is the start of the game, because the way they came out, it was not the way they came out on Friday. It was not the way they played that entire game Friday. Unfortunately, tonight, they look very similar to, I think, how they've looked the majority of games this season. They look a little bit tight. They look like they're overthinking almost everything that's going on out there. And they're making what I'll deem to be careless mistakes. And it leads right to another basket.
Yeah, and Winchester's making the most of those turnovers. I think they've scored on 3 at least now turnovers. Nice job by Mueller finding McCulloch, who found Spector. I think we've got a Winchester foul before the pass off for Winchester's first foul of the game. Mueller to inbound the ball on the baseline. Finds Melina O'Hagan, and she's going to get fouled going up. She'll go to the free throw line for 2. And I like this, Jeff. This is another way you kind of get back in the game, right? You go to the free throw line. The clock's not running. You can take a deep breath. You try to get some easy buckets. Easy points, I should say. First shot for O'Hagan is up and good, and that's a great sign. Second shot's down.
To your point, 2 free points, take them, and now, come back down, try to get a stop, and just whittle away at it.
3-pointer is off for Winchester. Offensive rebound, another offensive rebound, and putback.
3 shots. You can't give a team like Winchester 3 shots.
No.
Period.
They're too good for that. Lucas finds O'Hagan. Back to Lucas. Over to Mueller, who finds McCulloch up top. Takes it, drives on the right, no call. Misses the shot, and Winchester's coming back on offense. We're going to have steps on Emily Collins as she was driving. Looked like she had a good drive, but I think they kind of bobbled the ball a little bit. Feet got caught up. That's going to be a turnover. Lily Paul back into the game for Eileen Lucas. And that was well done, breaking the press. Paul finding Mueller. Back to Spector. McCulloch drives.
And one.
She takes it, finishes with the left hand, and fouled. She'll go to the line for one. Big bucket for Arlington, keeping the lead at 10 for Winchester right now. Free throw for McCulloch off. Winchester rebound. Good defense. Turnover for Winchester. And I will say, Jeff, coming out of the timeout, it looks like what we had hoped for, right? They look a little bit more calm. They're taking their time. They look strong with the ball. They've gotten some shots in the last few possessions. Hopefully this can continue as the defensive pressure remains up. And the minute I say that, announcers jinx, that's going to be a turnover. It's going to be Winchester basketball. Sammy Walsh has checked into the lineup for Arlington, replacing Avery Spector. Maeve Collins to inbounds for Winchester. And that's going to be a turnover. Steal by McCulloch. And Arlington looks to press forward before Winchester can set up. McCulloch drives, kicks it to Paul. Back out to McCulloch, who finds Mueller. Waiting for the screen from O'Hagan. Great defense being applied by Winchester there. Maeve Collins, former teammate of Weezy Mueller. McCulloch looks to drive, kicks it out to Paul, who takes that shot. Long two, can't quite finish. O'Hagan tips the ball out to McCulloch, who finds Sammy for three. Oh, good shot from Walsh, just didn't quite find the net. Mueller with an offensive rebound. Mueller to Paul. O'Hagan over to McCulloch. Out to Paul. Who swings it to Mueller as we're looking to get a shot with about 13 left on the shot clock. Sammy's open, kicks it to Lilly. Great pass by Paul. That is a fantastic offensive possession. They stayed patient, worked it all the way for a really nice shot and layup for O'Hagan. Nicely done.
You couldn't have drawn that one up much better.
Maeve Collins for three, short. And that's going to be out of bounds off Winchester as the shot clock is turned off. We have just under 17 seconds here left in the first quarter. And a chance, Jeff, to
steal a bucket here.
To steal a bucket and make this finish the quarter strong, I'll say. Mueller to McCulloch. 12 seconds left. Oh, and Melina steps on the half-court line. And that's going to be a turnover. Unforced error right there. We've had a few of those in this quarter. Despite all that, if we can hold on here, not give up a shot, we'll be in the ballgame. 34 is a good shooter for Winchester. Great defense by Mueller. All right, and Isabella Jardine into the game to play some strong defense in the post. Forced a tough shot there, which did not go, and Arlington is going to maintain, well, is going to be down less than 10 going into the second quarter. And I would say, Jeff, after the start that we had, they closed the quarter pretty well. They looked a little more composed. We got some shots. They keep that up, and I think they'll be able to climb their way back into this basketball game.
Yeah. Cautiously optimistic. I think that's how I would describe it right now. After the first 3 or 4 minutes, it looked like we might have started to figure out something as to how to deal with their size. We were doing a better job, I think, keeping a forearm or an elbow in some of the Winchester's players' backs as they were trying to set up position in the post. On-ball pressure definitely led to a few turnovers, which certainly helped keep us in it. And I got to be honest, I think all of our points were either layups or free throws. I don't even really think we necessarily took an outside jumper that I could think of. But I love that last offensive possession. If we can just keep moving the ball, keep Winchester moving, it'll lead to open shots or, even better yet, easy layups.
And as we start the second quarter, I'll reset the Arlington lineup for you. Mueller, Walsh, Paul up top with McCulloch and Jardine in the front court. Isabella got there, I think, just a little late. That's going to be a foul. Again, I've seen that before. I don't mind it. You don't want to give up an easy layup. Go, make them earn it at the free throw line. So not a bad foul by Isabella there. First shot for number 22, that's Brooke Schruel, captain, senior guard for Winchester, is off. She'll get a second. Second shot is in. Oh, but I think we've got a violation on the shooter, so they're going to wipe that point off the board. It will remain an 8-point lead for Winchester.
And that's right where your comment comes into play. Make them earn it at the line. They come away with nothing.
Paul to Mueller. That's going to stay Arlington basketball. Paul to inbound. She finds Jardine, who gets the ball to Mueller. And Collins, Maeve Collins is really, playing aggressive defense right in front of the referee, and I was waiting for that call, just a little bit too much body. Mueller did a nice job staying strong with the basketball and sort of absorbing the contact and getting the call. That's going to stay Arlington basketball, as Martinelli was calling for people to be an option for the inbounder there, come hard to the basketball, which is something that we're going to need to do because Winchester is playing tight defense. Great pass by Mueller. Jardine's going to get that shot blocked. Again, the height of Winchester looking to be a problem for us.
Awesome dish-off pass. Great eyes.
Three-pointer is up and good for number 13, Maggie Shevlin, senior guard for Winchester. The first points they had scored in a while. Paul surveys, finds McCulloch up top. Paul to Jardine. And nice drive by Isabella. Doesn't quite get the shot to fall, but she will go to the line for two. Another good free throw shooter for Arlington. So hopefully this will cut the deficit. First shot for Isabella, no good. And Avery Spector checking back into the game, replacing Captain Lily Paul. Second shot, rattles around and down. Arlington now trailing by 10. Emily Collins brings it over for Winchester. Playing some sort of version of point center. But she looks very comfortable with the basketball. We're gonna have 3 seconds on Winchester as Arlington did a nice job there fronting, front and back of the post player. Isabella did a nice job coming over and forcing that 3-second call. Another turnover and finish for Emily Collins. Is really, I would say, Jeff, that's the one thing, that and the offensive rebounds are the two things I would say that are hurting us the most right now.
100%. 100%. Just giving them far, far too many offensive opportunities.
Mueller, Spector. Spector drives. Takes it strong, no call. She's going to track down, get the steal. Kick it to Isabella, who finds Mueller open for three. That's not down, unfortunately, that we're going to need some of those to fall. Good shot, though. Good offensive possession. Turnover on Winchester. That's the double dribble. As O'Hagan returns to the game, replacing Sammy Walsh. Good stint for Walsh. You know, I think Martinelli likes the three-point threat that she brings. She's also gotten her hand on some steals in recent games. So I think she'll play some important minutes tonight. Mueller drives. Can't quite finish. And right now, unfortunately, the shots are just not falling for Arlington. Great rebound by Isabella. Mueller up to McCulloch. She's open for a shot. She'll take it, and unfortunately can't get that to drop.
I feel like we've seen this stretch of basketball a few different times this year. The defense is doing a really nice job over the last 7-8 minutes of gameplay. And unfortunately, we just don't get enough going offensively. And ultimately, you know, most of the teams we play are good enough so that you can slow them down for a while, but you're not going to shut them out. And so between multiple looks, turnovers, and then just the normal course of play, you're going to see more threes. It just makes it very hard to stay in games.
Mueller over to Jardine, finds McCulloch. Drives, looking for something offensively, back out to Mueller, who drives and pulls up and makes
Great
that shot. And that's what we're gonna need. If they're gonna, you know, it's the kind of thing where if you beat your girl and you find yourself in some space, just stop and take that shot. And that was a really nice play by Mueller, taking advantage of that.
When Arlington played Winchester much earlier this season, one of the things that happened to that game was Arlington kept attacking the rim, and Winchester just kept blocking shot after shot after shot. And it just to your point, the girls need to learn to pull up and hit that 6-7 foot jumper.
Martinelli with another timeout. We got just under 4 minutes left here in the first half. And while we have a break in the action, I'd just like to remind everyone that this is an ACMi sports production. Numerous Arlington High School sports games and events are filmed by ACMi Sports and made possible by both student and parent volunteers. If you're interested in helping to produce, film, commentate, and/or edit the games, please reach out to us at sports@acmi.tv to find out how you can gain experience and learn sports production while bringing more sports content to the Arlington community. So yeah, we're staring down the barrel of a fairly big deficit here, and Jeff, we've talked about it at length already. I feel it's a make or miss game, and right now Winchester's making their shots and Arlington is not making theirs, which is why this lead has ballooned up a little bit. It was down, you know, at 8 for a while, and then again Winchester turnovers, second chance opportunities, and they're converting them.
Yep. And you know, one of the things that frustrate me is when Winchester throws the press at us. It's a pretty straightforward press, and the one thing they bring to it is they bring a lot of size to it. And so, you know, if you're going to be the undersized player, what you really have to do is you have to fake a pass to make a pass. And you know, a lot of times we're trying to throw that first pass we see, and it's really important to take that extra split second and try to move the defender one way before you make the actual pass. Otherwise, with the length of their arms, I mean, they just make it very difficult to go over them.
Eileen Lucas back in the game for Arlington. Spector brings it up, finds O'Hagan. And that's going to get tipped out for a turnover. And Emily Collins surveys for Winchester. Open three-point shot for Winchester is off. McCulloch tracks down the rebound. Long rebound. Good rebound for Arlington. McCulloch finds Spector, who was up ahead. Nice finish by Avery Spector. Great vision by McCulloch seeing that open shot. We're going to, you know, if we could get some more of those, get some easy buckets, that could really turn this game around.
That was a great pass. I mean, right to her hands. She didn't have to move. Alina you can't say enough about that pass. I mean, she made it as easy as possible, and then Avery was able to convert before the taller girl came over the top.
Thought Arlington almost got a turnover there. It's going to stay Winchester ball at baseline. Good double team by Mueller there on the taller player. That's going to be an open three by number 34, Ava Melia, freshman for Winchester. Good, strong player. Spector brings it across. Amelia with a steal, and it's back to Winchester ball. Good help defense by O'Hagan. Spector tracking Amelia well. Oh, they called Mueller for a foul down low. She's upset. I think she feels like she was straight up and down there. That's a tough call as number 4, Katie Cavanaugh, will go to the line for 2. Not a ton of calls being made in this game, Jeff, so a little tough to see that one called against Arlington. First shot for Winchester is no good.
Yeah, the refs are definitely letting him play, and you know, on the whole, I think the refs have done a good job tonight, but I tend to agree with Weezy on that one. I thought she was straight up.
And good to see senior captain Gianna Palillo back on the court in action after missing some time with an injury and some sickness. She and senior co-captain Lily Paul replaced Mueller and Spector. Second shot for Winchester is no good, and as Rasheed Wallace liked to say, ball don't lie. Obviously not a foul as both shots were missed. Palillo finds O'Hagan, swings it over to Lucas. Back out to Palillo, over to McCulloch. Drive and kick to O'Hagan. Just got to move. Palillo on the drive, no call. Very similar to what was on the other end, in my opinion. Nice drive by Gianna, no call. Winchester basketball. As we're under 2 minutes here left in the first half. Good track down by Lucas. Pushes ahead, finds Paul. And she'll finish the layup.
Love seeing Eileen make that pass.
Great defense on one end, led to a beautiful pass and finish on the other end, and that's just simple basketball.
Yep. And again, both her and Lily knew they had the 2-on-1. They're both sprinting up. Eileen waits till she draws the defender in, slides the pass underneath. Lily finishes it perfectly.
Great defense being applied by Paul and Palillo right now. And that's going to be out of bounds on Winchester as the whole team really playing aggressive defense there to force the turnover. We've got just over a minute here. Paul's going to inbound the ball off the baseline for Arlington. Lucas finds O'Hagan, kicks it back out to Lucas. Sorry, that was Palillo on the first pass. She'll find O'Hagan now. Good ball movement here by Arlington. Lucas for 3, she'll take it. Just a little strong, good look from her. Would love to see some threes fall for Lucas. She's a good shooter, has been looking for a couple to fall down. That one was close. That's gonna be another tough call on Palillo. I believe that's only the 3rd on the Spy Ponder, so we're not in danger of going into the bonus and letting them shoot, but got 37 seconds here. Got to close out the half strong. Oh, good hands by Lucas. I think the ball bounced out of bounds, unfortunately. Three-point shot is no good. Falls to a Winchester player for an easy putback. Clock's running under 20 seconds, just about 20 seconds now left in the first half. Paul to O'Hagan, over to Lucas, kicks it to McCulloch. He's gonna take that 3 and get that to go down. Needed that shot. Under 10 seconds here. Paul and McCulloch jumps it. Good defense, really good defense being played by Arlington there. No shot from Winchester. And again, we close out the quarter well, get it to 13. And if they play like that, there were some good stretches there, Jeff. If they play like that, they'll be able to get back into this game and give Winchester something to think about.
Absolutely. They have to keep up the on-ball defense. When they have the on-ball defense, it just gives them such an advantage. At the end of the day, Arlington's a very quick, athletic team, and they can be aggressive out on the perimeter. So if they really challenge Winchester, they'll force some turnovers, they'll force difficult passes, and it makes it a lot harder for them to get it down to the low post. Then on the flip side, a few more shots like that by Alina. I'm sure Weezy will find another bucket or two, and then hopefully we get another girl to step up, make it an interesting second half.
I agree. So for Jeff Spector, Phil Ryan, and Jack Magoon, I'm Lewis McCulloch. We're going to take a break at halftime. We'll see you back here in about 9 minutes and see if Arlington can make some noise and close the gap and make this interesting. And welcome back to Arlington High School as we're about to get the third quarter underway. Ponders trailing 31-18. Looks like Coach Martinelli has gone back to the same starters that he began the game with. Paul, Mueller, Spector as the guards, with O'Hagan and McCulloch in the front court. I think an important stretch here, beginning of the third quarter for Arlington, as we try to get back into this game. Hopefully see some composure, start to get some good shots, and that's a foul on Winchester. Not a bad start. We'll take it. Lily stayed strong with the basketball, and it's going to be a foul on number 22, Brooke Schruel.
To a point you made at the late in the first half, because a lot of fouls haven't been called, it gives Arlington an opportunity to come out and actually be really aggressive defensively. And if they get called for a couple fouls, they get called for a couple of fouls, but maybe they can get a couple extra steals along the way.
Paul finds McCulloch, drives on Collins. That's going to be a turnover for Winchester. Oh, good hands by McCulloch, and that's going to be off of Emily Collins' foot and out of bounds. Turnover for Winchester, back to Arlington, out of bounds. Spector to pass it in to Mueller. And she'll break the press on her own, bring it over half court. McCulloch to O'Hagan. Finds Paul. Gets it to Spector at the three-point line. Good ball movement by the Spy Ponders, working it around. Spector now surveys, finds McCulloch. 10 seconds, under 10 on the shot clock. Weezy's open for three. Decides to drive it herself. Offensive rebound by McCulloch. Can't quite get through the trees of Winchester and out for a pass or a shot. Emily Collins brings it over. Spector applying some good on-ball pressure. And looked like a charge, no call. Arlington does get the rebound, and that's going to be another foul on, I think, Schruel, as she fouls Wheezy.
That was a strong play by Melina, just holding her ground. It wasn't called, but it takes some courage to stand there and take that.
Yeah, good for her. She was in good position, and I will say at least they didn't call a blocking foul. And the refs have tightened up the calls here. That's going to be the third on Winchester early, which is, again, Jeff, a possible really good sign for Arlington here, as we are not even a minute, just over a minute and a half into the third quarter here.
It definitely provides a potential path if we can pick up a couple more.
Just stay aggressive. If Arlington stays aggressive, stays calm, let's see what happens. Spector surveys, finds McCulloch, who drives, kicks it out to Paul. Spector's open for three. She'll take it. Little strong, but she'll track down her own offensive rebound. And drives, no foul. It's going to be out of bounds on Winchester. Stay Arlington basketball. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Nice track down by Avery Spector to get that offensive rebound.
Love to see a player follow their shot. It doesn't happen often enough.
Got the refs having a little conversation here about what happened there. It's going to stay Arlington basketball. No, sorry. They changed the call. He said white. He meant black. It's going to be Winchester basketball. Good hands by McCulloch. She's going to drive. Can't quite finish on Emily Collins. I think she felt the senior all-star on her shoulder. She's right back into her face, playing really strong defense. Long three for Winchester is no good. Offensive rebound for Winchester. Another offensive rebound for Winchester. And Coach Sam Mosley's going to call a timeout as Winchester collects or picks up from where they left off in the first half, getting just about every single offensive rebound. While we've got a timeout, we're going to do a few shout-outs. First of all, I'd like to wish a special happy birthday to our own Tessa McCulloch, number 22, who helped the JVA team defeat Winchester earlier this evening. Nice job to that squad. I believe they enjoyed cupcakes from Quebrada after the game. Also like to give a shout out to the girls assistant soccer coach, Brian Moths, who's watching, as well as a couple of Winchester friends. Yes, we do have some friends in Winchester. Jim and Nicole Fantini here in the building watching the game. As we continue to go coast to coast, I'd like to say hello to the viewers watching from Denver, Colorado, as well as Seattle, Washington. Hope you're enjoying your evenings and the basketball game. So we come back, 5.5 to go here in the third. Winchester basketball, Arlington trailing by 13.
Defense has been great to start the second half. Just need to convert a little bit at the offensive end.
Good tip by McCulloch, couldn't quite convert it to a steal. Collins with a step back jumper. That's just a good basketball play.
Without fail.
Spector drives. That's going to be off of Winchester legs. Going to stay Arlington basketball. Mueller to inbound. Lofts it out to McCulloch. Drives and kicks to Lucas. Takes that three. Couldn't get it. Spector landed out of bounds. Seemed like Winchester was right on her back. Not sure she had the opportunity to land in bounds there. It's going to be Winchester ball. McCulloch doing a one-person press on Emily Collins. Good double by Arlington. Open three for Winchester. Eileen Lucas does a nice job jumping out on the three-point shot and then coming back to get the rebound. Then pushing the ball because nobody stops her. Spector for three. Unfortunately, couldn't get it to fall. Good shot. Mueller with an offensive rebound. Drives, great dish to O'Hagan, who finishes with her left hand. Great play by Arlington. Lots of good things happening in that possession. Gets the Ponders to 20. Two offensive rebounds for Winchester. Make it three. Arlington doing a great job defensively, with the exception of securing the ball after the missed shots from Winchester.
95% of the work, 0% payoff.
And it ends with Emily Collins taking it and making it. You can't, like you said in the first half, Jeff, you can't give a good team this many chances.
No, and the worst part with this team, you're not just giving them looks, you're giving 6-foot-plus tall girls 3 looks from 2 feet away. And they're good. So, you can harass them, you can defend them, you might make them miss a layup or two, but by the time they get a third layup attempt, it's going in.
Tough finish for Ava Amelia there. Thought Lucas had really good defense on her. Good finish by the Winchester freshman. Mueller a little strong on the runner. And Collins collects another rebound. McCulloch stays up on her. O'Hagan, nice anticipation. Gets the steal, finds Mueller. Lucas to Spector for 3 is up. And slightly off. These shots just are so close. It's tantalizing. We just need them to fall. Everything but the bucket there. A good offensive possession for the Ponders. Great box out from Mueller. She gets fouled from behind, and that's Winchester's 4th foul. And I believe Martinelli calls a timeout. My guess is to settle people down and say, look, keep taking these shots. They're good shots. We keep taking them. Some of them are going to go down.
Yeah, the only question I have, and certainly from up here, we have no vantage point to really make the call. On some of these threes, the girls are definitely open, but the way Winchester's closing out on them with their height and with their length, I don't know necessarily how good of a look the girls are getting at them. We're coming close on them, which says to me they probably are good looks. And unfortunately, only the shooter in the moment knows. Am I rushing the shot? Am I trying to put too much arc on it? Am I taking it in my natural rhythm with my natural trajectory? If that's what they're doing, they have to keep firing away because from up here they appear to be open. But also knowing what it can look like on the court with some of this length that's coming at them, that's the only thing that I would sort of caveat on, where, again, maybe there's something there for a ball fake and a drive like we saw Weezy do on the last possession, where instead of taking the jumper from the corner, she beat her girl, and then she's able to make a dish at the rim for someone else to make a layup.
Mueller gets the ball into Paul. Back to Mueller. And there we go. That was good. Keep it simple as Mueller sets the offense, calms everybody down. Paul swings out and lofts it over the top. That's going to stay Arlington basketball. Mueller lofts it up to O'Hagan. And it's going to be a turnover on Arlington. Back to Winchester. Sammy Walsh in the game. Here in the third quarter. Great rebound by Weezy. O'Hagan hits the deck, no call. Mueller pushes, finds Sammy open for three. She'll take it and make it. And hey, the bank is open, and at this point, we'll take anything. And I love to see Sammy take that shot. She's a great three-point shooter. Good to see one go down for her. I've seen games before where she hits her first, she can get on a little run, and that could make a big difference here in the game.
She's definitely a streak shooter. Seeing that ball go in is huge.
Steal, great anticipation by Mueller as she pushes ahead. Finds O'Hagan, who gathers. Double team, kicks it out, finds Paul. As Martinelli calls and exclaims for the team to relax and settle down, which they do. Nice pass by Mueller to find Paul down low. Good defense by Winchester to block that shot. It will stay Arlington basketball on the baseline. Jardine into the game. Oh, replacing O'Hagan there. Good call. I think just give O'Hagan a little bit of a break. Isabella brings in some good toughness on the defensive side, on the rebounding side. McCulloch waits for the screen. Uses a couple screens, kicks it out to Paul, finds Mueller, 5 seconds, so she takes a long three. Unfortunately, that doesn't bank in. That's going to be Winchester ball as the shot clock inadvertently went off, even though Winchester had secured the ball. Not actually a terrible foul by Paul there with under 5 seconds left, and that was Arlington's first foul of the quarter. I will say it does give Sam Mosley, head coach Sam Mosley, a chance to bring some of her height and talent back into the game to see if they can get a last-second shot here. But otherwise, not a bad foul by Paul. Maeve Collins to inbounds for Winchester. Mueller guards. Shot gets off and is no good, and that'll close the third quarter. Slightly frustrating quarter for the Spy Ponders. That being said, they only lost that quarter by 1 point. So it's not like Winchester did a whole lot of damage there. They just maintained their lead. And a lot of what we said coming out of halftime into the third quarter, I think holds for the fourth here, Jeff. I mean, we get a couple shots to go down. We get a couple rebounds. We hold Winchester to one attempt on their side. I still think anything could happen here.
Anything's possible. Where it starts is exactly with everything you just listed. And then, and this is always the catch when it comes to our team, we're going to need a 20-point quarter. And ultimately, that's what's so frustrating about the third quarter is I think we scored 5 points. And, it's just not enough. There's no other way to say it. It's not enough. It doesn't matter whether we get them from free throws, three-pointers, layups, long twos, short twos, runners. We need more points. Period. End of story. So, to your point, yes, the way we've thrown our athleticism out, the way we've tried to force some turnovers, there is a potential to hold Winchester to a low-scoring quarter, but then we need to capitalize. We need to put the round ball in the round hoop and see the score start to go up.
So we'll reset the lineup here for you to start the fourth quarter for Arlington. Weezy Mueller, Lily Paul, Sammy Walsh at the guard, Isabella Jardine, and Alina McCulloch in the front court. Great defense being applied by Paul. Miss, but offensive rebound and another shot for Winchester, which also misses. Nice job by Sammy Walsh to get her hands on that and force the jump ball. It will stay, no, it will be Arlington basketball as Mueller is talking to the referee and I think asking for him to watch for an over-the-back calls. Yeah. Paul to inbound. Gets the ball to Mueller. All right, so there's a stop to start the quarter, Jeff. And now, to your point, let's see some production on the offensive side. Jardine up top. A little bit of in-between pass there. Paul and McCulloch both went for it, and that's going to be a turnover on the Spy Ponders. Collins up top. That's going to be a turnover. Nicely done. Sammy Walsh on the steal there. Pressure applied by McCulloch, forcing a bad pass. Mueller finds Sammy Walsh, who's going to stop and take that three. That was a good look.
That's a great look.
I mean, inches from being down, Jeff.
Yep. Absolutely. I mean, she's a shooter.
Shooter's got to shoot. That's what they say, and I want her to keep putting it up because we're going to need that. Like you said, to get the kind of point scoring quarter we need. Some of those shots are going to have to fall, and you can't make them if you don't take them. Spector back into the game for Jardine as Martinelli decides to go small here. We'll see how that pays off. Not sure what the call is there. Could have been traveling, but I think going to get a blocking foul called on number. Who do you call that on? Do you call that on Lily?
I believe it was on Lily.
Yeah, a tough call. Long pass to Collins. Good double by Mueller. Forces the ball back out by Winchester. That's great defense by Spector, and Sammy Walsh with the rebound. McCulloch gathers, didn't have the step on Collins, and wisely brings it back out. Finds Paul, who gets the ball to Mueller. Spector drives to her left, kicks it to McCulloch. Plenty of time on the shot clock. McCulloch drives, kicks it to Spector, open for three, shots up, off the rim. McCulloch with the offensive rebound, kicks it. She saw Weezy open for three. I think just was off balance on the pass. Oh, man. That you see the opportunities, right? You see the potential. Weezy was open. Good three-point shooter. Unfortunately, just couldn't get that to connect. And Arlington will have to do it again on the defensive side. Good defense, great double team when they got it in low, forcing a turnover. It's going to be back to Spy Ponder basketball. Spector to inbound in a tricky spot down in the corner. Smart play, gets it into McCulloch, who finds O'Hagan. Back to McCulloch. McCulloch drives. And there's a lid on the basket. There must be. These shots are rolling around. They're hitting the back rim. They're so close to falling. It's hard to believe they're not going down for Arlington, this being our home court. McCulloch to the line for 2 shots. First shot rims out. We're going to have to talk to AD Bowler after this game and see if we can loosen up that rim.
Yeah. All season long. All season long.
Second shot. McCulloch decides not to use the rim, and it goes right in.
I mean, that ball did appear to be about 2/3 of the way down before it changed its mind.
Back on the defensive side. Collins brings it up. Great defense by Spector to steal the ball, find McCulloch, who will drive and push ahead. Wasn't anything there, so she brings it out. I will say the composure being shown by Arlington is impressive, despite the missed shots. They're keeping their heads up. They're running the offense. Great drive by Walsh. Again, just can't quite get it to go down. These are good offensive possessions. We're just not seeing the ball go through the hoop, unfortunately. Collins backs her way in, kicks it out. Looked like a double dribble, not called. Open three-pointer for Amelia is good, and tough shot by the freshman. Big shot for Winchester as they were struggling to score as well. Mueller to McCulloch. McCulloch over to O'Hagan. Shot blocked, I believe. Good rebound by Sammy Walsh. That's been a few rebounds for her. She finds McCulloch on the drive, who's fouled, not called. And Winchester will gather as the clock slowly ticks down and out of time for the Spy Ponders now with 3.5 to go in the fourth. Steal by O'Hagan. Arlington on the break. McCulloch on the drive. Shots up and misses. O'Hagan with an offensive rebound. She'll go to the line for 2. McCulloch frustrated that the layup didn't go down.
I know Winchester hasn't maybe had the best season based on record, at least so far this year, but when you look at this team, I mean, they're dangerous. The size up front, and Ava Amelia, I know she's a freshman, but I've also watched her play the last few years. She's a deadly shooter. And Winchester just rolls more depth off the bench. I'm surprised it hasn't translated to their record this year, but I mean, they're a scary team when you see them out here. On some level, I mean, I feel like they could match up with just about anyone out there that we've seen.
Yeah, I agree with that, Jeff. Second shot for O'Hagan, no good. She did make the first. I will say, head coach Sam Mosley does a really nice job with the program, uses the depth of her program well, and is working some of these younger players in. You mentioned Amelia, the freshman, and she's got a lot of size to go along with that. So not a team that I'd want to face in the tournament. I think part of the reason their record is what it is the fact that Middlesex League is really tough. They are still ranked 13th overall in Division I, and they're showing their class tonight.
Yeah, and then with Ava Amelia, you put Gigi Fantini and Avery Monti, numbers 23 and 24, 2 more freshmen. Gigi's mostly used as a defensive specialist for them. She has ridiculously fast feet, active hands. Another shot.
And oh, by the way, they have Emily Collins, all Scholastic, last year's co-league MVP, who can hit threes as well. As the shot clock was winding down, really a backbreaker shot there. Mueller drives, can't get it to go, and Collins pulls down another rebound. She's had a good game. Bounced back a little bit. She was held somewhat in check the first time we played Winchester. She came out with a purpose tonight and is having a great game. Good block by Mueller. And she stepped out of bounds. So it will stay Winchester basketball. Collins just surveys over the top of Arlington. Swings it around, and the shots are going down for Winchester.
There's the defensive specialist for Winchester knocking down a three.
McCulloch finds Palillo. Back to McCulloch, who finds O'Hagan down low. And that ball just continues to rattle around and out for Arlington. Sometimes, Jeff, it's really as simple as that. You know, shots are falling for Winchester. Shots are not falling for Arlington. That's the difference in the game. Not to take anything away from Winchester. They're playing a great game. They're making their shots. Arlington is getting looks. It's not like they're not getting shots in the second half. They've cut down on the turnovers. They're getting good shots. They're just not going down.
You nailed it. I mean, they've definitely cleaned up. They've definitely cleaned up their play offensively. But at the end of the day, nothing's going in.
And that will be over the back on Winchester. Mueller told the refs to look out for that one and then got trucked on that one, which they did call. And Collins will come out of the game. I think her night is done. Mueller hands off to McCulloch, who hands off to Paul. Finds Walsh. Arlington continuing to play hard. McCulloch drives. Rims out again. And we're under a minute here to go. It's going to be a 10-second call as Winchester took their time getting over half court. Didn't quite make it. Arlington will get a chance to run a play and try to get a couple more points here.
I think if you'd asked Arlington ahead of time, you know, would you be all right holding Winchester to 45 points? My gut is I think Arlington probably would have said yes, just knowing the size and the shooting that Winchester brings to the gym. And we would have had to take our chances of, you know, just trying to put up a mid-40. And, you know, whether we put up 25 or 35, it didn't matter. Either one's a losing number, but just the offensive woes continue to plague the team.
Nice hands by Sammy Walsh. She's had a nice game tonight, made some good plays, anticipated the ball well, has a good number of rebounds and steals, as well as a good-looking shots. It's not going to be enough as there are 12 seconds left. Arlington's going to inbound the ball, and this should do it. Lofted play over the top, doesn't find O'Hagan, and Winchester will dribble out
They
the
needed that
ball.
old Rock and Jock MTV Challenge 20-point shot to try to pull this one out.
As Chef Spector continues to show his and my age, because I got the reference up here. That'll do it. Arlington loses to a very tough Winchester opponent, 45-25. We may have a couple of girls joining us, so stay tuned for post-game interviews. As we wait for that, I'll just remind everyone that Arlington has another rematch this Friday at home against Belmont. The Ponders played tough against Belmont on the road earlier in the season, so I think it'll be interesting to see where the teams are now. Belmont has made a move up the charts. They're now top 10, so the schedule doesn't get any easier for Arlington. So we will be back here live Friday night against Belmont. And again, we'll be following the boys' game. Congratulations to them for their win earlier this evening against Winchester. They joined the JV girls and the JV boys also who won against Winchester. Doesn't look like we've got anybody rushing up here. I think Martinelli wants to get the girls into the locker room, talk about this, and prepare for Friday's game. So with that, I'll say for Jeff Spector and Phil Ryan and Jack Magoon, thanks for tuning in. I'm Lewis McCulloch, wishing you a good night, and we will see you on Friday.